South Korea and Japan pursued antitrust cases against Apple for price fixing in the App Store. So if you sell anything in an app, if you collect any money in an app,
30% goes to Apple.
Apple requires you to use their payment processing.
Yeah.
They make $100 billion a year on that.
Yeah.
It is the most profitable line of business they're in. It's more profitable than anything else they do. It is pure profit. It's a 30% tax on the digital economy.
Right.
And it's crazy. It's just like it's a shocking sum of money.
Wait. Let's delve into that, because this is something that I find myself grappling with. It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, I do think it's crazy that Apple charges you 30% of any revenue that is coming in from your app that you're charging in the app specifically. On the other hand, I go, there was no app store. There was no app ecosystem.
Sure.
There was no, they're making it. Have you tried to sign up for anything that's not in Apple? Eugene. Do you want to hate your life? Hey, my man. Good luck paying. Good luck. It's messy. It's hard. Good luck canceling, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You try cancel a product that you didn't sign up through like Apple. Like get some other service. Because I've tried to like get out of the ecosystem. And be like, nah, I'm going to go sign up on the website myself and I do my thing. Till this day, there will be $5 leaving my account where I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I keep sending email. I'll cancel, unsubscribe. I no longer wish to. Reason for leaving, because I don't want to give you my money anymore. Reason for I don't want to be here anymore. That's too bad. Can we put you through to somebody? I don't want to be put through to anybody. But so there's that side of it where I go, what is the amount that Apple or anyone should be able to charge for inventing a new thing that makes you money that you didn't make? Because you are making 60% from zero.
70%.
70%. Sorry, you're making 70%.
My dad's math
from
teacher.
zero. From zero, right? So you're making that 70% from zero. Why?
Sure.
Why shouldn't this? And I genuinely mean it as like a grapple, because I go like, who
Why
decides?
wouldn't you pay?
Yeah, but who decides?
So take off your I use a phone app and put on your like SIM regulator app.
Okay.
And you're trying to like figure out what's best for society.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. So right now, the way that it works is reverse engineering an iPhone to add a different payment method is a felony. Right. So Apple gets to put you in jail if you try and add another payment method. And Apple's argument is that by blocking independent repair, independent software installations, independent payment processing, and so on, that they're able to do this sort of paternalistic thing. They've got their users back and they will step in and do it. And there's an extent to which that is undoubtedly true. But there is a threat that Apple will never defend you against, which is Apple. And so where Apple doesn't have your interest at heart, then you have no recourse because you can't change your phone if you don't like what Apple's doing. So in 2021, Apple updated iOS. I think it was 2021. They updated iOS, which is the operating system for like phones and watches and tablets. And they gave you a single tick box and you ticked it, and then Facebook couldn't spy on you anymore in the apps. 96% of iOS users ticked that box. The other 4% were either drunk or Facebook employees or drunk Facebook employees, which makes a lot of sense because if I worked at Facebook, I would always be drunk.
Hey, Cory's here to fire shots, bro. Cory doesn't play games. Cory's here with his machine. Cory doesn't play games, bro.
So you get it, right? Like this is clearly like neoliberal economists, the same ones who say monopolies are efficient, they like to talk about revealed preferences.
Okay.
Where if you do one thing but say another thing, the thing you're doing matters more than what you're saying. You have a revealed preference. This is like a thing you can only believe if you incur the kind of neurological injury you get from taking an economics degree, which makes you incapable of like perceiving or reasoning about power. You see someone who's like sold a kidney to make the rent. You go, look at that person with the revealed preference for one kidney. So here's the thing. When you give people a real choice, they can reveal a preference. Because Facebook would have set up until that moment, people use Facebook, so they don't want their privacy. So here's the kicker. When Apple was turning this on for Facebook, they were also turning on their own surveillance system for the iPhone that gathers all the data Facebook used to gather in order to target ads to you, because they have a competing ad broker. And there's no way to opt out of that, right? And it's against the law to do unto Apple as Apple did unto Facebook. But that's like just for table stakes, right? So in China, the government said to Apple, you must remove all the privacy tools. There's no VPNs, there's no end-to-end encrypted messages that aren't backdoored, and they backdoored iCloud in China so that they could figure out who to like stick in a gulag. Right? So again, Apple's got your back until they don't, and when they don't, what do you do?
What recourse?
And then finally, here in America, Apple decided that an app called IceBlock, which is an app that warns you if there's a guy in Oakley's and a gator who wants to shoot you in the face or like send you to an El Salvadoran slave camp for the rest of your life, that doesn't belong in the App Store. That
What was the argument?
ICE officers are a protected class.
Oh, as they should be.
They're a visible minority.
Huh.
And so, the argument is, please don't tariff my stuff, Mr. Trump. That's the argument, right?
Huh.
That's why Tim Cook flew to D.C. to assemble a little gold participation trophy for Trump. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's why he paid $1 million to sit behind Trump on the dais at the inauguration. It's why they gave millions of dollars for the Epstein ballroom. You know, it's because it's mafia, right? So when Apple has your back, it's great.
Here, and one is not scared.
Oh, man.
So,
You can tell someone has multiple passports in this conversation.
I have
Someone
three.
here has multiple passports.
I'm Canadian, British, and American.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
You can see
Yeah.
just freewheeling here.
Oh, man.
So
Literally, evil can even in this conversation.
So how do you get Apple to like have your back again, right? They have to be afraid. They have to be afraid that something bad will happen to them, right? If we want them to be good, there have to be penalties for being bad. Because within Apple, I guarantee you, in fact, it's public because they all leaked to the New York Times and Wired and whatever. There are tons of Apple employees who are like, this is bad and we shouldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
They say it
Okay.
about China. They say it about App Store fees. They said it about IceBlock, right? And they're losing the argument. What if their argument wasn't just this would make me feel icky, but also that $100 billion a year we take in from transactions is about to be shifted to a rival because people are so pissed off with us that they would happily switch.
Yeah.
Right? Apple makes this argument all the time. They say, well, if we let third parties fix your phone, well, maybe they do something bad to your phone when
Yeah.
you fix it. Well, that's possible. So maybe we should have a law that says if I fix your phone and install spyware, I go to prison or get fined or whatever, right? And in fact, you talked about canceling. Under the Biden administration, Lena Khan created what was called the click to cancel rule, which
She's
told
my hero,
corporations,
through and through.
Me too. God, I used to send her texts that said, I can't tell you how disorienting it is to get out of bed in the morning and look at my phone and go, oh my God, my government's great.
Yeah, like
it was
Lena Khan
weird.
was because you know what it felt like with Lena Khan? It felt like there was somebody in government doing what the government is supposed to do. So here's how
What did she do?
Here's how I've seen it. So Lena Khan was fundamentally tasked with making sure that trade and competition were fair
Right.
in the United States, right? And this is something that people oftentimes obscure in these conversations. If you talked to billionaires and CEOs of corporations of this, they would make Lena Khan seem like the devil. And they would oftentimes say, you need to let business do what it does. And, you got to be unrestrained. And because if you restrain industry, it will not move in the direction. But this would be the equivalent of two fighters in the cage in UFC saying, you got to get the refs out of the cage,
Right.
man. Get the refs out of the cage and then just let the fighting be unrestrained. And then true fighting will emerge and then you will know who the best fighter is. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But a lot of people might die.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people might die. So the reason we have a referee, even at UFC, is because there is somebody who knows what the rules are and their job is to enforce the rules to make sure that the spectators and the fighters in the cage are protected.
To officiate.
You don't need to see anybody dying.
Yeah.
And you too don't need to die. And so even though you may not think it as one of the fighters, it's actually good for you. And this is the thing people don't realize, is that having somebody who is competent at enforcing the trade and competition laws in a country is actually good for companies. You know why? When you are winning in a death match, you don't think someone should stop a death match.
Yeah. Because you're on top.
But when
You're
you
doing
are
the pummeling.
losing a death match,
well
you will
said.
pray to God that
That
there was someone there to tap you out. Someone there to go, hey, you tapped, the fight is over. I've seen multiple major corporations who were once like, at the pinnacle, HP, et cetera, just absolutely killing it. They never want any enforcement. But when they fall down or when they're on the ascendancy, they'll point out constantly how they're being oppressed by other companies. how the competition is being stifled, how they're being blocked out of doing certain things. Like one of the most famous stories for me was Virgin Cola. Richard Branson was really a genius at making innovative and interesting companies that just created a new type of value where people didn't expect it. Virgin Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin, the ship, etc. But a big one was Virgin Cola. One of the craziest things I learned about Virgin Cola was it was actually a product that people were starting to like more than Coca-Cola.
No.
I didn't know this, but it was like taste tests and just in raw sales, it was doing this, it was doing this, it was doing this. It was just people like, we like the taste of this more than Coca-Cola. And then what did Coca-Cola do? They went out to all their distributors and all the people, and they said, if you give this guy shelf space, we're going to cut you off completely. And remember, right now, we're responsible for such a large amount of your revenue.
Right.
So if you let this guy come into your places, if you give him a favorable shelf space, if you even give him shelf space,
Fridge.
we're going to shut this shit down, and good luck to you not having any of our products.
Sure.
What can you do as a store? You're a corner store, mom and pop store, supermarket. Doesn't matter how big you are.
Yeah.
They're a huge part of your turnover.
They've got a lot of products under their belt.
They've got too much product. And so you go, sorry, Virgin, you're out.
It.
And that's literally why Virgin Cola died. It wasn't badly anything. It wasn't. And so in that, if you are the Virgin Cola or if you are the anything in any field, you can think when you're on top, you're always going to be on top. But when that behemoth flips and they're coming after you, that's when you're going to wish that there was enforcement. But by then it might be too late, because now there might only be one company. And so now it just becomes an environment where competition cannot even begin to exist.